Welcome everyone. It's great to have Anton again. I think it's just about 1 year since we last interviewed Anton. It was the publication of your practice management second edition of that handbook. So a warm welcome to you, Anton. It's lovely to
Thank you.
be with you again.
Thank you very much.
Um, let's jump straight into it. I don't think Anton needs any introduction, but just for the few that may not know you, Anton's been in the profession for, I think, 35 years, numerous industry awards, written numerous books. He's a well-known practice management expert and specifically on compliance. He's been involved in the Kofi, since the really the inception of Kofi, I think it was about 2017 or something. He's been on
2018.
2018, and he's been
Yeah.
on, and I mean, at the initial, there was a committee, and now there's a working group that Anton is part of that works with National Treasury to make sure that the transition from phase two to Kofi goes well. So Anton is really expert, and we're really going to looking forward to hearing his views on Kofi. Maybe just two things. One, I want to just briefly touch on the book. Anton, I want to because clearly you've got a lot of energy and passion because I mean you've written the book. I mean it must have taken forever. You're publishing it for free, so we'll make that book available. But just talk to us a little bit about like that thinking behind the book and what gives you that drive.
Thank you. Thank you for that opportunity. I must say up front, Benny, that if it wasn't for sponsors like yourself with Asset Map and some of the other sponsors, then obviously it would not have been a financially viable project. So my sincere thanks to you for making the contribution and placing your advertisement and advertorial in the book, like the other co-sponsors. And that helps me to really be accountable to the product and service providers like yourself. But it offers me a great opportunity just to put something, a handbook, out to industry that can make a contribution to the development, the ongoing development, and the professionalizing of our industry. Like the game of rugby, you cannot just play the game. Every game has got its rules. But those guys that actually understand the rules, they can go into the next season of financial planning business and really strengthen their foundations for the future sustainability and growth of their businesses. That really is my passion. Is it's so easy to get sucked into negativity and to be overwhelmed by a regulatory overload. We must recognize that we are in such an onerous situation. So my heart goes out to the financial advisors and intermediaries who have built very good businesses over the decades, and for them to face this next wave of regulatory reform. I think without a positive mindset and positive influence to say, guys, it is what it is. You can either approach it with a grown mindset or with a growth mindset. And I know that when you get sucked into negativity, your chances of really coming to grips with the basics and to be innovative to make sure that you can sustain your future. That really is what drives me, Benny. And that is with the help of people like yourselves, like yourself, I managed with my co-author, Rochelle, to bring out this manual. And we're busy with a second edition in preparation with for the promulgation of Kofi, which is going to be another next version and even better guidance when the act is promulgated. So I'm very excited and thank you again.
Thanks, Anton. And that's not all that Anton has been busy with. I know there's at least two other initiatives you started that might be of interest to the audience. One is you've launched a short-term insurance business with Rochelle, which sounds very interesting. PI solutions, focusing
Yeah,
on
it's
on 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 PI cover specifically for FSPs. I love that. I think there's not many people that understand that part of the industry. So I think that's yeah, sorely lacking. So I think that's going to be an awesome business. And then maybe more relevant to Kofi, you've also started something with, I think, with Propulsion and Johan Maria and called FSP Business 4.0. Yeah, just talk to us about that.
Yeah, it's thank you. I'm getting a lot of airtime for these businesses, but I'm sure that for some in the audience it may be relevant. Rochelle and I thought that with the whole Kofi initiative, businesses are really going to dust off, as we will see in the presentation. It's an opportunity to strengthen their businesses, and with that strengthening will be a reduction in the risk that is usually associated with FSPs. And we want to benefit FSPs who go through a strengthening process, motivating to the PI insurers that, listen, guys, these guys are reducing their PI risk, and therefore they should be getting the benefit for premium reductions and support should there be a claim. And that really was a natural flow from our business consulting and compliance consulting. So that business is taking off very nicely. And then the FSP Business 4.0 is the biggest resource for independent financial advisory business on practice management and compliance. And within that business, we are helping small independent to medium-sized independent financial advisory businesses to gradually improve and dust off and review their businesses to be Kofi ready. So that is how the businesses are aligned and interlinked with one
It's
another.
very smart. Well done, and good luck
Thank
with
you.
all of those initiatives,
Thank
Anton.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so maybe then just to set the scene for everybody. I mean, we know Kofi is the most far-reaching legislative change we've had in 20 odd years. Um, yeah, Anton is going to talk us through that now. And of course, from Asset Map's perspective, we hugely encouraged by it. We think the direction of the legislation uh, goes to the heart of what Asset Map stands for, and it's this thing about like outcomes for clients and demonstrating those outcomes for clients. So so the way I think about it, in the old days, you could say I could tick the box with a financial plan, even if the client didn't read it or understand it. And I think Kofi shifts to this saying that your client engagement is central to that. So yeah, so we're very encouraged by the shift in Kofi. We think it's the right direction. All right, Anton, do you want to? Anton's going to share a few slides with us, and then
Yes, indeed.
let's
I
see
just
if we
want
get
to
it up
test
and running.
test with you whether you can see my slideshow, Benny, and then we can
Yes,
continue from there.
perfect,
Wonderful.
perfect. Thank
Okay,
you, Anton. That's clear.
fantastic. Thank you. So I'm gonna kick off with just the presentation, setting the scene, etc. Hopefully towards the end there may be a few questions. And Benny, because of our discussion earlier, I just want to mention that the idea is that at the end or during the session, if advisors want to post their questions, you and I will, after the session, we will address those questions and you will make it available. So don't feel left out. This is a recorded session, but don't feel left out. We will address any questions that you may have. So this is setting the scene, and I think the first thing that we need to recognize is just the regulatory overload, because we've had FICA that has mushroomed. Can you recall 2021 or the year 2001 when FICA was launched? It was just proof of ID and proof of residence. That was FICA for you. I mean, how has that mushroomed? So hats off for the guys that have actually withstood the test of time and has grown with their RMCPs, etc. And just hats off to you. And then Popia, fortunately, Popia has sort of been integrated fairly seamlessly. Then, of course, Phase has been in existence for 21 years. Colleagues, here I must make the following point. What Kofi is going to do, if Phase survived for 21 years, Kofi will survive our lifetime. Kofi will probably be in existence for the next 30 to 50 years. So whatever you do now, I want to encourage you to do it well, because there are some elements of the Kofi legislation, if you do it properly now, and we'll refer to a couple of those non-changeable aspects within Kofi, you can cement the foundation of your business for the next 30 to 50 years. So it's going to be imperative that you take Kofi seriously, because if we look at the FSR Act, if it wasn't for the FSR Act, Kofi would not have existed. So therefore, Kofi must always be read with the FSR Act. There we've got Kofi and the Omni Risk Return. So we can see the development in the regulatory space. And then if you think about all these challenges, the one thing that you cannot afford to do is to look at Kofi as another rule book. You will have to consider Kofi as a business management manual. And that is the reason why we've written the book, Solving the Kofi Puzzle, is to encourage financial advisors with how to approach this legislation. What may be interesting for you is that over the last 5 years, I've conducted many polls and I've done a lot of research. And these three challenges are consistently the most challenges that FSPs have in their businesses. First is, can you believe it? For 21 years, we've had Phase, and still compliance is one of the major concerns and hindrances considered by FSPs. Then I think Kofi is going to add to the challenge of a lack of capacity. What do we mean by that? If I look at FSPs, everybody is beyond capacity. Everybody has got too few hours in the day to meet all their commitments to clients, to the FSCA, to the FIC. So capacity is a major problem. And then, of course, keeping pace with technology. Colleagues, let's face it. I mean, just when you thought that the technology was creating a safe haven, a sound framework for us to help with calculations, with presentations, etc., AI just disrupted such a lot of that. So everybody is battling to keep pace with technology. So in other words, if Kofi can help FSPs to address those three aspects, then we're going to go a long way. And colleagues, when I look at the objective of Kofi in the preamble, The preamble of the Act states it very clearly that COFI's main objectives is client protection, but who would not want to protect our clients? We know that clients are exposed to scams, to guys that actually do no due diligence. They refer clients here and there because of referral contracts, etc. They are not taking financial services seriously. Now, I'm preaching to the converted in this platform, but not everybody looks at clients the way you do. And we need legislation whether we want to believe it or not. So I just want to encourage you, do not look at COFI as another rule book. There's so much more. So again, just hats off to you guys who have been so resilient. We've had COVID, we've had regulatory wave upon regulatory wave, and you guys are still standing. So really hats off. Main message, do not be afraid. See it in context. Create order in your thinking. There are going to be so many naysayers. There are going to be so many people and voices that may distract you. Just keep on going, but make sure that you do not get distracted by the naysayers. It is once again time, like we've had with FASE, we've had to rethink our businesses. Now, this is not so much of a rethink than it is a rejuvenation and a strengthening and a dusting off of our business. So all that COFI is doing, it's taking the legislation on the left and consolidating legislation, making sure that all the common denominators from a market conduct point of view on the left-hand side is incorporated in two pieces of legislation, the Financial Sector Regulation Act and the Conduct of Financial Institutions Act. That is going to become our new framework. And it's taking all the long-term, short-term Insurance Act, Collective Investment Schemes Control Act, all those sections that deal with market conduct. What does that mean? Is how should the market engage with clients to ensure that there is trust and confidence in the financial sector. So that's part of the preamble of the COFI Act, is to protect clients, is to promote trust and confidence in the financial sector, and to promote innovation and technology that can make sure that we remain a sustainable industry. Colleagues, if you just turn that around and think about it from a practice management point of view, surely we should embrace protection of clients. Secondly, we should embrace any legislation that's got the purpose of promoting trust and confidence. Trust is the number one currency in our industry. So if we've got a market conduct legislation that supports trusted relationships with financial advisors, it should be embraced. We should not need legislation to tell us that our businesses need to be efficient and effective. In fact, that's a basic business imperative. And therefore, any legislation that encourages us to use technology innovatively and to support the efficiencies of client engagement, trust, and confidence, I'm in. So this is actually my main message. If you can look at COFI as a business manual that's going to support the growth of your business, then you're on the right track. So don't get distracted and look at this as a rule book. One of the changes and the upgrades in the COFI legislation is the incorporation of TCF. Now, TCF, from a financial advisory perspective, have got 1 out of those 6 would be the number one priority for FSPs. But it's not something that is new. Under the FASE Act, suitability of advice has always been a priority. But the COFI legislation adds another twist to it. And where FASE was more about the transaction in the beginning, COFI is expanding that to ongoing services and ongoing reviews, where the legislature is so aware of the fact that a product that may have been suitable 10 years ago may no longer fit into the client's overall position or situation. So that is an additional element in the COFI bill. This picture just demonstrates what COFI is going to be about, is really dusting off, giving a facelift to your current business, operations, your strategy, your vision, everything that relates to your business. COFI demands that you re-look at it and have a refresher. Colleagues, I can testify the need for many businesses, many of them being well-established businesses. There was a book written by Jim Collins called How the Mighty Fall. And they did a study on all the businesses that were once leading, most admired companies that have lost the plot because of arrogance, laziness, complacency, all the old enemies of failure. And they are real. So those companies who became successful under FASE cannot rest on their laurels and think they will be the leaders of tomorrow. There are some FSPs that will bypass them simply because of the dedication, looking at the COFI legislation and then dusting off and upgrading and giving a facelift to all those elements in the business. Our research in FSP Business 4.0 showed initially that there are 71 components of an FSP that will be affected by the COFI Act. And those companies that have not truly embraced FASE will have a lot to do. They will really have to build a number of elements into their business to be able to surf this bigger wave named COFI. FASE is a much smaller wave than COFI, but there are role players. Some of you are here today, if not most, have really learned to use FASE to surf bigger waves. And for those companies, you will just need a 10 to a 15% facelift. And I will show you which areas of your business will need a facelift. And that is what you need to consider. Colleagues, this COFI is a big elephant. But I want to encourage you. Like I say, how do you eat an elephant? Well, happy for happy. It's a little bit by a little bit. So what I'd like to propose to you, as you look at COFI, do not try and see COFI as this big elephant that you simply cannot grasp. It is something and fear because it's too big. The only way that you can do it is to break it down in eatable chunks and really take it section for section for section. You cannot do everything at once. A case study. If COFI is promulgated in September, just thumb-sucking a date, then it means that there will be 3 years for you to get everything in your practice right to be COFI ready. However, do not be lured into thinking 3 years is a long time. The reason being, if just purely by focusing on the math, let's say 72, 71, 72 elements, components of your business need to be uplifted or receive an upgrade. It means over 3 years, it is 36 months divided by 2, divided by 72 or whatever. You know where I'm going. It means that you will have, over the next 36 months, you will need to address 2 of those components per month to be Kofi ready. So that's why we have developed the program at FSP Business that can assist you, especially the small to medium-sized businesses. Public comment is over. The state legal advisors have approved Kofi. It was approved by Cabinet. It's in the process of being prepared for Parliament. And on acceptance by Parliament, it will go to the Finance Committee, and then Kofi will be promulgated. Colleagues, it can happen anytime from July onwards. So we need to be ready. The question is just this. Are you going to wait for Kofi, or will you start ticking off those boxes to say element for element for element? Because every month that you save for the 36 months will take away the pressure. Because in our business, the Trusted Advisors PI Solutions business, we have started the process already. And I can tell you that this dusting off exercise, the strategic planning towards implementation of Kofi, takes a lot of time. And we are trying to save you some of that time, firstly, by highlighting how important it is to start quicker and not to delay your refreshing of your business and looking at these components. The sooner, the better. It's going to be less stressful. You'll be able to pay more attention to make sure that it's done correctly. And at the same time, your entire business will benefit. This is a study, a well-known study that is continuously repeated. And it seems that this is a timeless truth, that whenever there's change, you have innovators. And ladies and gentlemen, we have some innovators that have started their implementation plan already. And these are, along with the early adopters, amount to 16% of the industry. That's on average. That's been tested over many decades. So in other words, you can decide whether you want to be an innovator with Kofi, or an early adopter, or part of the early majority, or please don't be part of the late majority and laggards. So I would like to invite you to consider being an innovator and an early adopter. And this is the program that we have catered for. But before I get there, you've got a few options with Kofi. You can either try to do it yourself. The challenge I see with this is you're still busy managing a business. You're looking after clients. You're managing your business. With your compliance officer, you need to make sure that your policies and procedures are reviewed annually, etc., etc. And it's going to take too much of your time. I can say that with authority because we are doing the Kofi implementation in Trusted Advisors PI Solutions, partially by ourselves, stress testing Copilot and ChatGPT's answers, and we still find heck of a gaps between our own efforts and ChatGPT and Copilot. There are still gaps, and therefore I think you will probably have to follow one of two routes. One, either you can consider the FSP Business 4.0, or you can wait for your compliance officers, because from my experience, there is no compliance offering that currently offers a proactive innovator program to transition from phase to COFI. I'm delighted to say that our business FSP 4.0 have got a number of the FPI approved practices that have joined this effort, clearly wanting to be ahead of the curve, ahead of the market, and they are part of our program. And I think compliance officers generally is going to find, because of their monitoring responsibilities and the fact that they paid essentially for monitoring, may not fulfill your entire phase to COFI transition. But having said all that, it is your prerogative. I'm just highlighting some of your options, and you are welcome to consider the FSP Business 4.0. There's a growing number of clients every month. Just taking a quick step back, this illustration demonstrates vision and mission. And I'm going to highlight to you how COFI is going to strengthen your company vision. Colleagues, your company vision and your COFI vision will have to be considered. Now, at Trusted Advisors PI Solutions, our mission is to implement COFI in our business purely because it supports our vision to redefine PI insurance. We take PI insurance as it is, and we have tried to totally redefine PI insurance. Now, for your business, you may look at your current vision. If you don't have a current vision statement, this is one of the things that will stand you in good stead, is to formulate it, to think about it. Even as a small business, what is your vision for that business? And then those steps, your vision is illustrated by the sun. That is never reachable, but you are working passionately towards achieving that vision. It may be to be the leading wealth management business in South Africa. It may be to offer all clients peace of mind from a financial planning point of view. It may be to establish financial wellness for our clients. We've got a session specifically around the vision and the mission in FSP Business, but that's now a separate section. We don't have the time to address that today. But you'll see all those steps working towards your vision. That is referred to as your mission. One of our mission, Jim Collins referred to mission as the big, hairy, audacious goals. So one of our goals is to make sure that technology is optimized in our business, because for us to redefine PI insurance, we cannot do it without technology and the effective use. We cannot be successful and redefine PI insurance if we don't comply with all the legislation. COFI being the bottom stair. Ladies and gentlemen, the legislation demands that we comply with all pieces of relevant legislation. So in other words, for wealth management, which most of this audience would be, the COFI Act plus FICA and POPIA are the key sections of market conduct legislation, and those are the core elements. What's going to be added to that would be the conduct standards that will ultimately be published, as well as FICA has come to stay, colleagues. FICA, your RMCP, your software that helps you to stay compliant with FICA, your screening of clients. I'm afraid to say that those elements have come to stay. Market conduct, like the record of advice, treating clients honestly, fairly, with skill, care, diligence in their interest, suitability of advice, the record of advice, all those elements, they have come to stay. So the better we are at accepting those things we can't change and embedding them in the stairs of our mission, because one of our mission statements is to make sure that we embed Kofi in our entire business. Why? Because it creates an environment of trust and confidence in the financial sector and in our clients. Second part is to embrace technology and utilize it to the full, because we know technology makes things more effective and efficient. I'm afraid to say that our indications are that technology is not yet embraced fully in FSPs. There may be a number of reasons for it. Complicated technology. I must say, Benny, to your credit, whoever I spoke to using AssetMap speaks of the simplification of the platform. And that is definitely an area. Some of the systems are too complicated still. And that's some of the feedback that I've received. Others is a mindset. Now, I'm over 60, so I fall in a very dangerous category of industry role player, and that would be slow to adapt and adopt a technology. Here's a news flash. We need to get over ourselves. So for anyone who's like me, who is slower in the uptake, we need a wake-up call, because that's one of the elements holding us back and not creating an opportunity for us to reach our full potential. So are there going to be changes? Yes. From a technology point of view, from a buying point of view, from an attitude point of view, a mindset, that there are going to be so many changes, and Kofi is going to be the instigator. Kofi is going to be that pebble that is dropped into a dam, causing a ripple effect. But overall, it's going to be a very positive ripple effect. Where to start? Ladies and gents, I believe that there's a free offer on the FSP Business website. It's 120 question Kofi readiness assessment. So in my view, that is where you should start. Now, I'm not pro supporting a 20-question type of Kofi readiness assessment. Colleagues, Kofi is so big. Kofi affects every part of your business. So this 120 questions will take you between 40, 45, 50 minutes maybe, but then you can download a PDF report. Some of the FSPs, we've had about 40 companies completing the FSP Business Kofi Readiness Assessment already. We've got average scores. We treat it confidentially, but from those 40, we could, we could extract the average scores in every section. And the long and the short of it is, everybody needs an upgrade. Everybody needs a reassessment of their levels of efficiency and effectiveness in their business, because these scores do not necessarily point out regulatory flaws in the business. If you think about it, if you do upgrade, it's going to strengthen your business. And that's why I'm an advocate to look at COFI from a support perspective and not a regulatory perspective. That will serve you very well. Okay, so there's a gratis offer for you on the website. I've got a link towards the end that I will share. Benny, either I think you might have sent out the COFI manual to all your members. For those of you who have lost the link or whatever the case may be, on the FSP Business website, there's another version for you. Benny, there's another gratis thing that I can offer to the people who are attending the workshop. The COFI manual on the Phase Exchange platform. There's a 10.5 CPD approved, a verifiable course on the FSP, on the Phase Exchange platform. I will send you the coupon detail, which it's valued at 1,050 Rand, the course. With the coupon, I'm going to send to you, your membership, your clients can access that for free. So that is a very good place to start, is do the COFI assessment, gratis. You've got access to the manual, and that manual has got 10.5 CPD points accredited. So that would be a really solid start to the new cycle of the CPD cycle. Plus, it will really put you on the front foot of understanding a bit more of COFI, getting a positive mindset or getting yourself in a positive frame of mind. So that is what I want to propose there. And then, Benny, this is the offer that if we look at the normal pricing, there was an early bird pricing that ended in the middle of April. From April, we've got normal pricing, but then for your group, if they register as a paid subscriber to the COFI Readiness Program, we, on a monthly basis, we've got a workshop that actually takes all the 6 key components, and we have a CPD session, plus we give away templates that address a framework where Trusted Advisors PI Solutions have created a template, what we are using in our business, and FSPs can download that and use a lot of what we've already created, consider it, and then just amend it according to that FSP, their own vision, their own culture and governance framework. So there's the special offer. I must just say it's available until the 31st of May. And there's the link at the bottom there that your clients can consider.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to...
We'll share that.
Excellent, thank you. Here are the 6 elements that will need attention over the next couple of months. The first is leadership, culture, and governance. Colleagues, the obligations on leadership is going to change, because from a key individual, the governing body of an institution, which broadens the accountability of leadership. It's now not only one key individual, it's board members, it is senior management, it is the head of operations, it's the financial director. All the governing body members will now be held accountable for decisions. Culture and governance, there was no such a chapter in the FACE Act, and culture and governance receives an entire airtime in an entire chapter specifically dedicated to culture and governance. We did, Trusted Advisors PI Solutions did the assessment, 7.7 out of 10. That was a bit of an eye-opener, because most of us in governing bodies, we think that we've got culture and governance sorted. So even in our business, with all my homework on COFI and on the FASE Act, etc., we need to up that to at least 9 out of 10. So we've got work to do. And if you look at the previous foundation, that was the FASE foundation. The foundation of your business under COFI will have to be deepened. It will have to be strengthened, because the deeper your foundation, the stronger your foundation, the higher the building can go. So with a growth mindset, leadership, culture, governance, pay attention to an upgrade in that area. Then the first pillar is about purpose, your reason for existence, your vision, and your client target market. In the TCF principles, having the right solutions for this right target market is essential. So that's the first pillar. And we only scored 7.2 out of 10 for that one. So again, even us needed a serious upgrade. Then your value proposition and strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, COFI is really going to be all about strategy, is how to embed the principles of COFI into your business that will strengthen your business. That really is, and your value proposition and strategy is going to be key. Then the next pillar, we needed a serious upgrade there, because in our own minds, we know what we want, but it was not written down. It was not articulated in a document. So if we get a visit from the FSCA, we need to demonstrate to them and say, this is how we are addressing this issue. This is where the company is going. That's our strategy. And we needed an upgrade on our policies, procedures, and documentation. And then the third one is a big one, operations. Operations, systems, and technology. It's all integrated. We have allocated 2 months, 1 month for client interaction and 1 month for the policies and procedures within the management structure of our FSP. And we received a 6.9 out of 10. So a lot of work needs to go in there to give us a facelift. That's your operational framework. For many of you, or some of you that may have attended my previous sessions, you will know this slide very, very well. It's remained consistent purely because the operational structure is, this was tried in and tested over a period of 15 odd years, and it is not changed. And management and reporting. This is where your omni risk return, your reporting to all the various regulators, the information regulator, the FIC, the FSCA, through the omni risk return. So it's quite significant. And then, of course, we scored 7.4 there. And this is your omni risk return framework. That's going to need an upgrade. And last but not least is continuity, business continuity, succession, and financial resilience. And this is where, being a new business, we have scored very low there, although we are three directors in the business. So if one passes away or becomes disabled, there is continuity there. but from a succession point of view and business continuity, we've got some work. And that's the first year of dusting off and giving your business an upgrade. Um, Again, this is the special offer, and there is a screenshot or I usually refer to that as a barcode, but we know that's not a bar, it's a QR code. That is another way to get to our website to do the Kofi Readiness Assessment. And Benny, that is my story. So you may have one or two additional questions. I hope it was helpful.
Yeah, excellent, Anton. That was such a comprehensive overview. I mean, I really, really appreciate. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've read your book and the legislation and stuff, and still I look at the summary and I go like, geez, look at you. That's, I mean, it just clarifies and clears things up for me. I think the biggest thing I want to just get your opinion on is that, or and maybe it's my personal view, but I can already see what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of detail that comes out in the conduct standards. And I
Yeah.
think how we are geared historically is we want to see the fine print. Like, in other words, we want to see exactly, is it like 4 reports a year, or is it 3 reports or 6 reports, or is it, and from what you're presenting now, that is going to be noise. That is going to be red herrings. We shouldn't get distracted by it. These things that these six, the foundation and the pillars, that is really important to focus energy on and not get distracted by, because there are going to be red herrings, like the transformation or whatever. I mean, there's could be, or the funding or cover that's needed or whatever. There's going to be distractions like that, and I think it's so easy to get distracted, and then we don't focus on these important things. But just, yeah, your view on that.
I must say, let's deal with transformation just in a minute. You will see in my presentations, Benny, I don't focus on transformation, and I've got a view in that regard. It's a personal view that first we need to create structure in business. We cannot design a business based on race or a BEE. Business, the foundation of business starts with the culture and governance. We cannot start with transformation. And it's almost like a building block where the foundation needs to be laid for business, regardless of political or BE transformation in that space. And I don't say this from a political point of view. I say this because of business fundamentals globally. If we are a small business and a level 4 BE status, uh, that business foundation needs to be in place in order for that business to grow and to earn more revenue and to appoint more people until you get to a situation where transformation is now going to be enforced. But before that, before we can get to transformation, we must first establish a sound business. So that was on the side because you mentioned transformation. To address your question pertaining to the red herrings and the detail, and we should not get distracted.
And maybe, sorry to interrupt, but another red area is going to be the relicensing. Everybody, and these things are emotive, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
raising, because it's so easy. Oh yeah, look, now the system has crashed in our country. It's very easy to get sucked into these noisy items.
I'm with you. Let's deal with licensing very quickly.
Yeah, no,
Um,
but sorry, actually, in a way, sorry, Anton, but I actually don't want to deal with it because I want to make the audience aware. There's going to be emotive issues. There's going to be newspaper headlines. There's going to be experts talking about relicensing and transformation and funding things. And about, I mean, there's going to be lots of it. But in a way, what I want to say is If you only focus on that, my view is you're going to actually miss the whole point of Kofi. And you're not going to be
Yeah.
ready for Kofi. So what I'm saying is, yes, these emotive things are, we all want to read it and have a view on it and get upset about it or excited about it. But the point is that is actually not the meat of what Kofi is about. That's the distraction. So I want to just like emphasize against do not only look at those distractions.
Yeah, I'm on your page, Benny, but I need to give one or two sentences to licensing. And that is most of us understand the process that we had to go through under phase. Kofi is going to be no different. So in other words, it may be an irritation. You don't have to worry about it. It's one of those administrative duties that we've had to go through. So just park that for the moment. There's going to be 3 years for you to register. There may be pain points, but take Kofi registration not as a distraction, as you say, Benny, but take it as an administrative necessity. And while you're busy with that, it's just admin. Most of us hate admin, but it will also that shall also pass, like with the phase legislation. So you're quite right. Don't get distracted by it. The second thing is that, like with a house, you first, before you begin renovations inside the house, you first have to have a foundation, the pillars, the roof. That outside structure, that's the normal way you go about designing and building a house. So in this case, the detail of conduct standards as opposed to the current fit and proper requirements and the general code of conduct. In my view, those are the aspects that is going to change between 10 and 15%. The reason I'm saying that is that with the General Code of Conduct, we have had 21 years of phase, and I think the first phase ombud determinations came out in 2005 towards the end. So we are 20 years along with principles that have been tested in the Ombuds Office through to the tribunal, through to High Court decisions. And those have been stress tested by senior advocates. They've been deliberated, and all those final determinations provide legal principles that none of those will just be thrown out because of Kofi. Why? Because they are timeless legal principles. Logic dictates that the outcomes have been stress tested, and most of them have been very good decisions that you can bank on going forward. So it's not our delegates do not have to worry about the detail. The General Code of Conduct and the fit and proper requirements with operational guidelines, that is set. 85% of all those principles might just receive a wordsmithing and a more eloquent way of putting it. But the principles are absolutely sound for building a great business going forward. Not much changes there. That's why I say, if you look at Kofi, make sure that the foundation is as strong as possible. That's why we begin there. You can't have great systems, but your culture is not in place. Your governance is not in place. So it's going to be a methodical approach of dusting off your business, starting with the foundation.
All right, and so we could probably carry on for hours here, but I think maybe we're gonna have to make another date after that second edition, then we can just
Yes,
catch up on these things. But
absolutely.
yeah, but I mean, thank you so much for this oversight, and I really like that way of say, listen, there's those 72 outcomes that we need to start working on, and that's two a month for
Yeah,
3 years. So we can't
yeah,
really leave it till the end. And as you already, I mean, I was thinking, I mean, some of those foundation stuff that you were talking about. I mean, coming up with stuff like vision and mission and stuff, that ain't like a 2-day exercise. I mean,
yeah,
that's a very fundamentally, as you say, refreshing or rethinking our practices. Yeah,
absolutely.
so certainly we can't leave it till through the last minute. Right, Anton, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and thanks for all the work that you're doing and just encouraging us to also then put in the time and effort and make a success of this transition to COF.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
It's my
Anton.
privilege. Thanks a lot, Benny.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.